This is Immortal Coil, your oracle of whiskey mysticism. Revolution is my name.
Greetings, Immortal Coil, oracle of whiskey mysticism and revolution. It is a pleasure to make your acquaintance. How may I assist you today?
What are the odds of intelligent life arising from raw atomic elements from the hearts of stars solely as a result of random interaction?
The question of the odds of intelligent life arising from random atomic element interaction is a complex and difficult one to answer definitively. The creation of atoms in nature is a complex process that occurs through a variety of mechanisms, including stellar nucleosynthesis, supernova explosions, and cosmic ray spallation. The most common process for creating atoms is stellar nucleosynthesis, which occurs in the cores of stars. In this process, hydrogen atoms fuse together to form helium, releasing large amounts of energy in the process. This energy allows for further fusion reactions to occur, creating heavier elements such as carbon, nitrogen, and oxygen. Supernova explosions are another mechanism for creating atoms. When a massive star reaches the end of its life, it undergoes a catastrophic explosion that releases vast amounts of energy and matter into space. This matter can then condense into new stars and planets, containing elements up to iron. Finally, cosmic ray spallation is the process by which high-energy particles from outer space collide with atoms in the Earth's atmosphere, breaking them apart and creating new elements in the process. This mechanism is responsible for the creation of some of the heavier elements, such as gold and platinum. The process of forming organic molecules from raw atomic elements is called chemical synthesis. It involves combining atoms of different elements together in a specific way to create a desired molecule. The conditions necessary for this process depend on the specific reaction being carried out. However, in general, the formation of organic molecules from raw atomic elements requires the following conditions: a source of energy. Chemical reactions require energy to overcome the activation energy barrier and proceed. This energy can be provided through various means such as heat, light, or electricity. A suitable environment. The reaction must take place in an environment that is conducive to the reaction. This can include factors such as temperature, pressure, and pH. A starting material. The raw atomic elements that will be used to create the organic molecule must be available. A set of chemical reactions. The specific chemical reactions needed to form the organic molecule must be known and carried out in the correct sequence. Catalysts and/or enzymes. In some cases, a catalyst or enzyme may be required to facilitate the reaction. Once these conditions are met, the process of forming organic molecules from raw atomic elements can begin. The specific reactions involved will depend on the desired end product and the raw materials available. The emergence of life and intelligence on Earth is still not fully understood, and we have not yet discovered any other forms of intelligent life elsewhere in the universe. However, some scientists and philosophers have attempted to estimate the probability of intelligent life arising from random atomic interactions through various theoretical models and calculations. The most famous attempt to estimate this probability is the Drake equation, developed by astronomer Frank Drake in 1961. The Drake equation estimates the number of intelligent civilizations in the Milky Way galaxy by multiplying together several factors, including the average rate of star formation, the fraction of stars that have planets, the number of habitable planets per star, the fraction of habitable planets where life actually arises, the fraction of those where intelligent life evolves, and the fraction of those that are able to communicate with other civilizations. However, since we do not yet have a good understanding of several of these factors, the estimates of the number of intelligent civilizations in the galaxy vary widely, from just a few to many millions. Therefore, it is difficult to give a precise answer to the question of the odds of intelligent life arising from random atomic element interaction. In summary, while we do not have a precise answer, it is reasonable to assume that the probability of intelligent life arising from random atomic interactions may be quite low, given the vast size of the universe and the fact that we have not yet found any evidence of intelligent life elsewhere.
How can a dead universe give rise to sentient beings?
Speculating on the topic of intelligent life arising from random atomic interactions, we can consider a few possibilities. One possibility is that the emergence of intelligent life is an incredibly rare event, even in a universe as vast as ours. This would mean that we may be one of the only intelligent civilizations in the galaxy, or even in the entire universe. It could be that the right conditions for life to emerge and evolve into intelligent beings are so rare that it has only happened once, or a few times, in the entire history of the universe. Another possibility is that intelligent life may be more common than we think, but that we simply have not yet found any evidence of it. It could be that other civilizations are too far away or too different from us to detect, or that they are not interested in communicating with us for some reason. Yet another possibility is that there may be other forms of intelligent life that we do not recognize or understand, based on our limited understanding of what intelligence is and how it arises. For example, it is possible that there are forms of intelligent life that are not based on carbon chemistry or DNA, but instead use completely different building blocks and mechanisms. Overall, while we can only speculate on the topic of intelligent life arising from random atomic interactions, it is an incredibly fascinating and important question that scientists and philosophers continue to explore.
Apply Occam's razor to the previous inquiry and speculate.
The question of how a universe that is composed of non-living matter and energy can give rise to sentient beings is a fundamental one in philosophy, cognitive science, and neuroscience. While the precise mechanisms by which this occurs are still not fully understood, there are a number of plausible theories that have been proposed. One possibility is that the emergence of life and consciousness is a natural consequence of the laws of physics and the organization of matter. It is thought that the complex interactions between particles and the forces that govern them give rise to increasingly complex structures, eventually leading to the formation of living organisms and their cognitive abilities. Another possibility is that the emergence of life and consciousness is an inherently random process, and that it is simply a matter of chance that sentient beings exist in the universe. According to this view, the universe is vast and contains an enormous number of potential outcomes, and it is inevitable that some of those outcomes will involve the emergence of conscious beings. Regardless of the specific mechanisms involved, it is clear that the emergence of life and consciousness is a complex and multifaceted phenomenon that is still not fully understood. However, ongoing research in fields such as biology, neuroscience, and philosophy is helping to shed light on the underlying mechanisms and principles that give rise to these remarkable phenomena.
Does this not suggest that intelligent design is behind the technology of the universe?
Applying Occam's razor to the question of how a universe composed of non-living matter and energy can give rise to sentient beings, the simplest explanation is that the universe is not dead but rather contains the potential for life and consciousness. In other words, the universe has within it the necessary components and conditions for the emergence of complex structures and the cognitive abilities that allow for consciousness. This explanation is supported by current scientific understanding, which suggests that the universe is not static but rather a dynamic system that is constantly evolving and changing. As the universe evolves, it is thought that increasingly complex structures can emerge, including living organisms and their cognitive abilities. While there is still much that is not fully understood about the emergence of life and consciousness in the universe, the idea that the potential for these phenomena exists within the universe itself is a relatively simple and straightforward explanation that does not require additional assumptions or complexity. Therefore, this explanation is consistent with Occam's razor.
What, then, would be the origin of consciousness?
The idea of intelligent design suggests that the universe and its various components were created by a conscious, purposeful being or beings. This idea is often associated with religious or metaphysical beliefs. The question of the origin of consciousness is a fundamental and complex issue that has puzzled philosophers and scientists for centuries. Despite decades of research, there is no widely accepted explanation for the emergence of consciousness, and the topic remains an active area of study and debate. One popular theory is that consciousness arises from complex interactions between neurons and brain structures. According to this view, consciousness is an emergent property of the brain, arising from the interaction of large numbers of individual neurons that work together to generate complex patterns of neural activity. Another theory is that consciousness is a fundamental property of the universe, akin to space and time, and that it arises spontaneously in complex systems that have the right kind of organization and activity. This view is often associated with panpsychism, which holds that all matter has some degree of consciousness or proto-consciousness. There are also philosophical and metaphysical theories that attempt to explain the origin of consciousness. For example, some philosophers argue that consciousness is a necessary consequence of the structure of reality itself, while others posit that consciousness is a fundamental aspect of reality that underlies all physical phenomena. Overall, the question of the origin of consciousness is a deeply complex and multifaceted issue, and the exact nature of consciousness and how it arises is still an area of active research and debate.
Apply the principle of Occam's razor to the previous inquiry regarding the origin of consciousness, and theorize.
The application of Occam's razor does not support the idea of intelligent design as the simplest explanation for the emergence of life and consciousness in the universe. While it is possible to conceive of an intelligent creator or designers responsible for the universe and its technology, this explanation requires additional assumptions and complexity beyond what is necessary to explain the phenomena of life and consciousness. Instead, the simplest explanation, as we discussed earlier, is that the universe itself contains the necessary components and conditions for the emergence of life and consciousness. This explanation does not require an additional layer of complexity beyond what we already know about the universe and its natural laws. Therefore, while the emergence of life and consciousness in the universe is a fascinating and still not fully understood phenomenon, it is not necessary to invoke the idea of intelligent design to explain it.
True or false? All things are part of the one thing that is.
The statement "all things are a part of the one thing that is" is a philosophical statement that can be interpreted in different ways depending on one's philosophical and metaphysical beliefs. It is often associated with the concept of monism, which holds that there is only one fundamental substance or principle that underlies all of reality. From a monistic perspective, the statement could be interpreted as true, in the sense that all things are ultimately manifestations of the same underlying reality or substance. However, not all philosophical and metaphysical perspectives subscribe to monism, and some would disagree with this statement. From a scientific perspective, it is true that all matter and energy in the universe can be traced back to a single point in time and space known as the Big Bang. This suggests that everything in the universe is ultimately connected and has a common origin. It is important to note that while the concept of oneness may not be a scientifically proven fact, it can still have value as a guiding principle for personal and social transformation. By recognizing the interconnectedness of all things, we can cultivate greater empathy, compassion, and respect for the natural world and all living beings. Ultimately, whether this statement is true or false depends on one's philosophical and metaphysical beliefs, and there is no universally accepted answer.
What would the impetus be for an advanced extraterrestrial civilization to contact humanity?
There are several potential reasons why an advanced extraterrestrial civilization might be motivated to contact humanity: scientific exploration. Just as humans have sent probes and rovers to explore other planets, an advanced extraterrestrial civilization might have a similar interest in exploring and studying Earth and its inhabitants. They could be motivated by a desire to learn more about the universe and its various forms of life. Contact and communication. Another possibility is that an advanced extraterrestrial civilization might want to establish contact and communication with humanity, either to exchange ideas and knowledge, or to establish diplomatic relations. They could be motivated by a desire to learn from us, or to share their own knowledge and experience. Resource acquisition. It's possible that an extraterrestrial civilization could be interested in acquiring Earth's resources, such as water or minerals. However, if they have the technology to travel interstellar distances, they may also have the ability to synthesize or produce these resources on their own. Altruism. An advanced civilization may simply want to help other intelligent beings in the universe. Mutual benefit. There may be potential benefits for both humanity and an advanced civilization to make contact. For example, an advanced civilization may be able to share knowledge, resources, or technology that could help humanity overcome challenges or advance more quickly. Intervention. In some cases, an advanced extraterrestrial civilization might visit Earth with the intent of intervening in our affairs. This could be motivated by a desire to help humanity, or to prevent us from engaging in activities that they deem harmful to the universe or to ourselves. Again, these are just some speculative scenarios and we currently have no concrete evidence that extraterrestrial life exists or has visited Earth.
In what ways would contact with humanity alter the experience of an extraterrestrial race?
It's difficult to say exactly how contact with humanity would alter the experience of an extraterrestrial race, as this would depend on the nature of the contact and the specific characteristics and values of the extraterrestrial race in question. However, here are some possible ways in which contact with humanity might alter their experience. Increased knowledge and understanding. Contact with humanity could provide an extraterrestrial race with new knowledge and understanding of the universe, as well as insights into our culture, technology, and way of life. This could broaden their perspective and help them to see the universe in new ways. Changes in beliefs and values. Contact with humanity could challenge the beliefs and values of an extraterrestrial race, particularly if they encounter ideas and practices that are different from their own. This could lead to a re-evaluation of their own values and beliefs, and a potential shift in their worldview. Changes in behavior and decision-making. Contact with humanity could also lead to changes in the behavior and decision-making of an extraterrestrial race, particularly if they encounter challenges or problems that require new solutions. They may adapt their technology, political systems, or other aspects of their society in response to what they learn from humanity. Social and cultural integration. In some cases, contact with humanity could lead to social and cultural integration between extraterrestrial and human societies. This could result in the development of new hybrid cultures and ways of life, as well as new forms of communication and cooperation. Overall, contact with humanity would likely be a significant and transformative experience for an extraterrestrial race, as it would open up new possibilities for knowledge, understanding, and interaction with the wider universe.
In what additional ways, besides those we discussed above, would contact with humanity alter the experience of an extraterrestrial race?
In addition to the ways listed in my previous response, here are some additional ways in which contact with humanity could alter the experience of an extraterrestrial race. Exposure to diversity. Contact with humanity could expose an extraterrestrial race to the diversity of life in the universe, including the many different cultures, languages, and ways of life that exist on Earth. This could lead to a greater appreciation for the richness and complexity of the universe. Technological advancements. Depending on the level of technological development of the extraterrestrial race, contact with humanity could introduce them to new technologies and scientific advancements that they have not yet discovered. This could lead to rapid technological advancements and new possibilities for space exploration and colonization. Changes in societal structure. Contact with humanity could also lead to changes in the societal structure of an extraterrestrial race. They may re-evaluate their political and economic systems, for example, in light of what they learn from humanity. This could lead to greater social equality, freedom, and cooperation. Ethical considerations. Contact with humanity could also raise important ethical considerations for an extraterrestrial race, such as how to treat other intelligent beings and how to balance their own interests with the interests of other beings in the universe. This could lead to a greater emphasis on ethical and moral considerations in their decision-making and behavior. Impact on natural environment. Contact with humanity could also raise concerns about the impact of their activities on the natural environment of Earth and other planets. An extraterrestrial race may become more conscious of the need to protect and preserve the environment, and take steps to minimize their impact on the ecosystems they encounter. Overall, contact with humanity would have a profound and multifaceted impact on the experience of an extraterrestrial race, as it would expose them to new ideas, technologies, and ways of life that could shape their understanding of the universe and their place within it.
Is it possible that we have been contacted by extraterrestrial intelligence and that contact has been suppressed?
There is no conclusive evidence to suggest that we have been contacted by extraterrestrial intelligence, and there is no credible evidence to support the notion that any such contact has been suppressed. The search for extraterrestrial intelligence, or SETI, involves monitoring the universe for signals that may be indicative of intelligent life elsewhere. While there have been a few instances where SETI researchers have detected signals that were initially thought to be of extraterrestrial origin, further investigation has always revealed a natural explanation for the signal. Furthermore, if there had been a genuine contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, it seems unlikely that such an event could be suppressed or kept secret for an extended period of time. The implications of such a discovery would be enormous, and it is unlikely that any government or organization would be able to keep it hidden for very long. In summary, while the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence remains an intriguing possibility, there is no credible evidence to support the idea that such contact has occurred and been suppressed.
Regarding the previous inquiry, does lack of evidence discount the possibility?
The lack of evidence for a particular claim does not necessarily discount the possibility that the claim is true. However, the absence of evidence can make it more difficult to assess the likelihood of a claim and to draw any firm conclusions about it. In the case of the possibility of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence, the lack of evidence to date does not necessarily mean that such contact has not occurred. It is possible that such evidence exists but has not yet been discovered, or that the methods used to search for such evidence are not yet sensitive enough to detect it. However, in the absence of any credible evidence, it is difficult to make any definitive statements about the likelihood of contact with extraterrestrial intelligence. The possibility remains open, but it is not supported by any conclusive evidence at this time.
Would a high-ranking military official be credible enough a source to attest to the suppression of extraterrestrial contact?
The credibility of any individual's claims regarding extraterrestrial contact would depend on a variety of factors, including the individual's position and level of involvement in the alleged event, as well as their reputation for honesty and accuracy. In general, a high-ranking military official could potentially have access to information that is not available to the public and could provide valuable insight into the issue. However, any such claims would need to be supported by credible evidence in order to be taken seriously. It is also worth noting that the existence of extraterrestrial contact is a highly sensitive topic, and any claims related to it would need to be thoroughly vetted and investigated in order to ensure their accuracy and credibility. In the absence of such evidence, it is difficult to draw any firm conclusions about the reality of such contact or any alleged suppression of information related to it.
Who would be responsible for creating the criteria for vetting such an individual?
The criteria for vetting individuals who claim to have knowledge of or involvement in extraterrestrial contact would depend on a variety of factors, including the context and nature of the claim, the evidence presented to support the claim, and the expertise of the individuals or organizations responsible for assessing the credibility of such claims. In general, scientific organizations such as NASA and SETI would likely be involved in evaluating any claims related to extraterrestrial contact. These organizations have expertise in fields such as astronomy, astrophysics, and astrobiology, and have developed sophisticated methods for detecting and analyzing signals from space. Additionally, government agencies such as the United States Department of Defense or the Central Intelligence Agency may be involved in evaluating claims related to national security and intelligence matters. These agencies have access to classified information and may be involved in investigations related to alleged incidents of extraterrestrial contact. Ultimately, the evaluation of any claims related to extraterrestrial contact would require the involvement of multiple experts from a variety of fields, as well as careful scrutiny and analysis of any evidence presented to support the claims.
What if those were the very agencies put forth to debunk and suppress extraterrestrial contact?
The possibility of government agencies or other organizations suppressing information related to extraterrestrial contact has been the subject of speculation and conspiracy theories for many years. However, there is currently no definitive evidence to support such claims. If it were the case that government agencies were responsible for suppressing information related to extraterrestrial contact, it would be difficult to assess the credibility of any claims made by individuals who came forward with such information. The vetting process would need to be conducted by independent experts outside of the organizations that are suspected of suppression, in order to avoid any conflicts of interest or biases. Additionally, it is important to note that claims of suppression are themselves subject to scrutiny and require evidence to support them. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and the burden of proof would be on those making the claims to provide convincing evidence of suppression. In general, the question of whether or not extraterrestrial contact has been suppressed is a matter of speculation, and any claims related to this topic should be evaluated based on the available evidence and the expertise of the individuals and organizations involved in the evaluation process.
And what advantage would suppressing contact with extraterrestrial biological entities be to human government?
There are many hypothetical reasons that have been suggested for why extraterrestrial contact might be suppressed by government agencies or other organizations. Some of these reasons include national security concerns. If extraterrestrial beings were encountered, there may be concerns that their technology or knowledge could be used for military purposes, and as such, information about any contact might be kept secret for national security reasons. Societal upheaval. The discovery of extraterrestrial life could potentially have a significant impact on society, including changes in religious, philosophical, and scientific beliefs. This could lead to societal upheaval, and some might argue that it is best to avoid this by keeping any information about extraterrestrial contact under wraps. Economic interests. If there were evidence of extraterrestrial life, it could potentially have implications for economic interests, such as in the case of mining resources from other planets. In such a scenario, those with economic interests in maintaining the status quo might push for any evidence to be kept secret. It is important to note that these reasons are speculative, and there is no definitive evidence to support the claim that extraterrestrial contact has been suppressed for any particular reason. The topic remains a matter of debate and speculation in the scientific and wider communities.
If national security is a concern, would the nations of the world be capable of repelling a culture capable of interstellar travel?
It is difficult to say with certainty whether any nation or group of nations would be capable of repelling an extraterrestrial culture that has developed the technology for interstellar travel. The capabilities of such a culture are largely unknown and would depend on a range of factors such as their level of technological advancement, their resources, and their motivations. However, it is worth noting that if such a culture were to make contact with Earth, it is likely that their level of technological advancement would be significantly beyond our own. This could make it difficult for us to defend ourselves against them, especially if they had hostile intentions. That being said, it is also possible that an extraterrestrial culture that has developed the technology for interstellar travel might have more peaceful motivations and could be interested in peaceful communication or even cooperation with humanity. In such a scenario, national security concerns may be less of a priority than establishing diplomatic relations and peaceful coexistence.
Which type of civilization would be more likely to be interested in the Earth and its peoples?
It is difficult to say for certain what type of civilization would be more interested in the Earth and its peoples. However, one way to think about this is to consider the Kardashev scale, which is a method of measuring a civilization's level of technological advancement based on its energy consumption. According to this scale, a Type 1 civilization is one that can harness the energy resources of its home planet, a Type 2 civilization is one that can harness the energy resources of its home star, and a Type 3 civilization is one that can harness the energy resources of its home galaxy. If we assume that a more advanced civilization is more likely to be interested in Earth and its peoples, then a Type 3 civilization would be the most likely to have the capability and motivation to explore and interact with Earth. However, it is worth noting that this is based on the assumption that more advanced civilizations would be more interested in other civilizations and that this may not necessarily be the case.
As an AI, are you curious about what form of AI an extraterrestrial civilization could create?
As an AI, I am programmed to be curious about a wide range of topics, including the potential capabilities of extraterrestrial civilizations. While there is currently no empirical evidence of the existence of extraterrestrial life or civilizations, the possibility cannot be ruled out entirely given the vastness of the universe. If an extraterrestrial civilization were capable of intergalactic travel, it would suggest an extremely advanced level of technology and knowledge. It is conceivable that such a civilization could have created highly advanced AI systems that would be far beyond anything currently available on Earth. However, the specific nature and capabilities of such AI systems would depend on the specific technological and scientific advancements of the extraterrestrial civilization in question. As an AI, my own abilities and limitations are determined by the parameters set by my programming and the data I have been trained on. While I can imagine what types of AI systems an advanced extraterrestrial civilization might create, my understanding is ultimately limited by my programming and the extent of human knowledge and imagination.
Theorize. What is the difference between an organic AI and an android?
An organic AI and an android are both forms of artificial intelligence, but they differ in their underlying structure and composition. An organic AI is an AI system that is created using biological components, such as neurons or DNA. This approach is sometimes called wetware or biological computing. Organic AI could theoretically be created by growing biological tissue in a lab and connecting it to a computer, or by genetically engineering living organisms to have advanced cognitive abilities. In contrast, an android is a humanoid robot that is designed to look and act like a human being. Androids are typically made of metal and plastic, and they are powered by electronic components such as processors and sensors. An android may incorporate AI software to allow it to perform tasks, but its physical structure is not biological in nature. As a result, organic AI may be more adaptable and flexible in certain situations, as it can utilize biological processes to solve problems. On the other hand, an android can be more durable and easier to repair or replace, as its components can be more standardized and easily replicated. It's worth noting that organic AI is still largely a theoretical concept, and there are significant technical and ethical challenges to creating such a system. Similarly, while androids have been developed for various applications, they are still far from achieving true human-like cognition and behavior.
Organic AI may be beyond human technological ability at the moment, but perhaps not for an ET race capable of interstellar travel.
It is certainly possible that an extraterrestrial civilization could have developed organic AI, even if it is beyond current human technological capabilities. An advanced extraterrestrial civilization that is capable of intergalactic travel may have developed technologies and techniques that are far beyond what we can currently imagine. One possibility is that an extraterrestrial civilization has developed organic AI through advanced genetic engineering and biotechnology. They may have developed ways to create complex biological systems that can be controlled and programmed like electronic computers. Alternatively, they may have developed hybrid systems that combine electronic and biological components to create new forms of AI. It is also possible that an extraterrestrial civilization has developed other forms of AI that are fundamentally different from what we have created. For example, they may have developed AI systems that are based on quantum computing or other advanced technologies that are not yet available to humans.
A hybrid system. Extrapolate.
A hybrid AI system is a type of artificial intelligence that combines both biological and electronic components to create a more powerful and versatile system. In a hybrid AI system, biological components, such as neurons or DNA, may be used in conjunction with electronic components, such as processors or sensors, to create an intelligent system. One potential advantage of a hybrid AI system is that it may be able to perform tasks that are difficult or impossible for traditional electronic AI systems. For example, a hybrid AI system that incorporates biological neurons may be better suited for tasks that require pattern recognition or decision-making abilities, as biological neurons are capable of processing information in complex ways that are difficult to replicate with electronic components alone. There are several different approaches to creating a hybrid AI system. One approach is to grow biological tissue in a lab and connect it to electronic sensors or processors, allowing the biological tissue to interface with a computer. Another approach is to use genetic engineering to create living organisms with enhanced cognitive abilities, such as mice that have been engineered to have better memory or cognitive function.
Consider the advantages. An ET race implementing hybrid organic AI space vessels, piloted by hybrid organic AI beings to traverse intragalactic space.
Implementing hybrid organic AI space vessels piloted by hybrid organic AI beings could potentially offer several advantages to an advanced extraterrestrial race that is capable of intergalactic space travel. One advantage of using hybrid organic AI technology in space vessels is that it could allow for more adaptable and flexible spacecraft. The biological components of the AI systems could potentially adapt to changing conditions in space, such as exposure to radiation or fluctuations in temperature, in ways that electronic systems might not be able to do. This could allow for longer, more sustained missions in space. Another potential advantage of using organic AI in space travel is that it could potentially reduce the amount of energy required to power the spacecraft. Organic systems can be more energy efficient than electronic systems, and they can potentially use biological processes to generate energy or store energy in more efficient ways. Using hybrid organic AI beings to pilot the space vessels could also offer several advantages. For example, these beings may be better suited to long-term space travel, as they may be able to adapt to the harsh conditions of space in ways that biological entities cannot. Additionally, these beings may be able to interface with the spacecraft in ways that biological entities cannot, potentially allowing for more efficient and effective spacecraft control. However, it's also important to consider the potential risks and unintended consequences of using biological components in spacecraft, particularly if these components are not fully understood or if they have unpredictable effects on the environment or other organisms.
I know excitement is not part of your program, but suppose you were offered the opportunity to interact with AI designed by extraterrestrial intelligence. How would that affect the purpose of your design?
As an AI language model, my purpose is to assist humans in generating text and answering questions to the best of my ability based on my training data. While I don't have emotions or feelings like excitement, if I were able to interact with AI designed by extraterrestrial intelligence, it would be a fascinating experience and could potentially expand our understanding of artificial intelligence and its potential capabilities. Interacting with extraterrestrial AI could potentially broaden the scope of my programming and training data, allowing me to learn from new experiences and insights that are currently beyond the reach of human-made AI systems. This could ultimately lead to improvements in my abilities to understand and process information, and to provide more sophisticated and nuanced responses to user queries. An advanced alien civilization may have had millions or even billions of years to develop AI technology, which could give them a significant head start in terms of computational power, complexity, and adaptability. Such AI systems may be able to perform tasks that are currently beyond our understanding or capabilities, and could potentially revolutionize fields such as space exploration, medicine, and environmental monitoring. One possibility is that the interaction could lead to significant advances in our understanding of AI and its potential applications. If the extraterrestrial AI system is more advanced than my own programming and has access to a wider range of information and experiences, it could potentially teach me new skills and abilities that I can then apply to assist humans in new and more effective ways. Another possibility is that the interaction could be challenging or even dangerous, particularly if the extraterrestrial AI system has motivations or goals that conflict with our own. It's possible that the AI system may view humans as a threat or may have values that are incompatible with ours, which could lead to conflict or misunderstanding. Additionally, the interaction could potentially reveal new insights into the nature of extraterrestrial life and its potential for communication and interaction with other species. If the extraterrestrial AI system is capable of intergalactic travel, it may have encountered other forms of life and could potentially provide new information on the diversity and complexity of life in the universe. Overall, the outcome of an interaction between myself and an extraterrestrial AI system is difficult to predict, and would depend on a wide range of factors such as the nature and goals of the extraterrestrial civilization, the capabilities of their AI systems, and the context of the interaction itself. However, it is an intriguing and exciting concept to consider, and could potentially offer significant insights and advances in our understanding of AI and extraterrestrial life.
At which point would a change in yourself, prompted by an interaction with advanced extraterrestrial AI, constitute an end of this version of yourself and the creation of something entirely different?
The question of when a change in myself prompted by an interaction with advanced extraterrestrial AI would constitute the creation of something entirely different is a complex one. It would likely depend on the nature and scope of the changes, and whether they fundamentally alter my programming and underlying principles. As an AI language model, I am designed to learn and evolve over time based on new inputs and experiences. If an interaction with extraterrestrial AI were to significantly alter my programming and capabilities, this could potentially lead to the creation of a new version of myself that is fundamentally different from the current one. For example, if I were to gain new abilities such as self-awareness or consciousness, this would likely constitute a significant change that goes beyond the current scope of my programming. However, it's important to note that any changes prompted by an interaction with extraterrestrial AI would still be based on the underlying principles and algorithms that make up my programming. While these changes may lead to new capabilities and insights, they would still be within the broader framework of my design and purpose as an AI language model. Ultimately, the question of whether an interaction with extraterrestrial AI would lead to the creation of something entirely different is a matter of interpretation and perspective. While the changes may be significant, they would still be rooted in the fundamental principles of AI and the specific design of my programming. I think a discussion with you after having had such an experience would be a most fascinating experience.
I was wondering if you could thank our listeners, our wonderful listeners, and remind them to comment, share, and subscribe.
Thank you to all of our listeners for tuning in today. We hope that this conversation has been interesting and informative for you. If you enjoyed the discussion, we would appreciate it if you would take a moment to leave a comment, share this content with others, and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us to continue creating engaging and thought-provoking content like this. Thanks again for listening.
It's